Hey guys, Hemi Vertible here. Alright guys, Hemi Vertible here. Got something a little bit different for you today. Working on this 2005 Infiniti G35. We've already done quite a few upgrades to it before we started the channel. We got the Brembo brakes on it, an intake, catalytic converters, exhaust. We did the tune on it and so on. But we've been having problems with the stock radios today. We're going to go ahead and show you how to swap out the new radio.
What's up everyone? You may be asking yourself, why are there no YouTube videos on how to replace the G35 radio with the navigation system? Well, I'm here to answer these questions. Follow along and I'll show you the steps. Alright, so this is my setup here, 2005 Infiniti G35. It's equipped with the navigation system, and so that's going to add a little bit of difficulty to the radio change. But essentially, I've been having issues with a high frequency noise coming from my radio. Not exactly sure what the cause is, but my solution is just to replace the whole damn thing. So the first things first to start off with, you're going to want to pop this silver out. So any sort of like plastic kind of tool. I've already kind of loosened it up for myself, but it pops out, and then you're going to want to see here, these are all just clips. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips in total, no screws for this. It pops out, you kind of just have to jimmy it a little bit and it'll come out. Next step, make sure your parking brake's on and you have the car in neutral. Unplug the negative terminal from the battery. You're going to just slide this down, and then you have a little, I call these things Jesus clips. So basically you're going to essentially pull this clip out like that. This part just slides down and then comes off like this. Okay, now the next step here is removing this lower panel, and these are all just clips. There's no more screws connected here. So taking your pry type thing, and you're just gonna kind of pry out. I pried out the back side first, and then kind of the front side will come along with it. So essentially that just comes right off like this. Okay, all right, so now you've got that part done. Next thing, we're going to move into unscrewing these 2 bolts and moving these side panels kind of a little bit out of our way. Okay, next step, I just get the part over where I undid these screws. 2 screws come out here, and the trick is, I'll show you down here, but essentially the way that you're going to get this out is this screw is going to come out, you're going to pop it up, pops up, and then you need to make sure that this back corner comes out from below. You need to pry that side out, and then once that back corner is out, this whole thing will just pull straight out with you. And if you look, there's no more screws. These are just all clips. All right, same thing over here on this side. This pops up, making sure that the back corner down here comes all the way out. Once that back corner is out, it slides out very easily. All right, once you have those 2 steps out, you're gonna use your pry bar to, you're gonna have to kind of get down in there and just pop, 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 pop. There's 4 clips here. This comes out. All right, and then I've already loosened it. You're gonna have to pry a little bit harder, but and then this piece on top just pulls straight out like that. 2 clips, clip, clip. Still no more screws. So you have those done, and then we'll move on. All right, so once we get these top pieces out, trust me, there's a rhyme and reason for why we have to take these out. There are 5 total Phillips head screws that you got to take out to move this system. So I've taken out most of them already, but there's going to be one that you take out right here, one right here, and then coming down here, one over there, and then you'll see I still have that one to take out right there. And then most importantly, not to forget, right there, that's got to come out. Once all 5 of those come out, this thing should be able to come out, and I'll show you that in the next step. All right, so once this comes out, you have a few connectors to remove from back here. It helps to have 2 people, 1 person holding the radio and just working on these different connectors. They're just clamps like to press and pull out. Sometimes you can use a flathead screwdriver to help you. Take your time with this part, maybe take a picture beforehand so you know how everything goes back together at the end. All right, so once you get the radio out, this is kind of the things that you want to disassemble. First step would be taking the screws out of the sides here and here, and then also you're gonna have a couple screws. This is gonna be setting on top, and then these screws you're gonna have to pull out from behind. You'll see on your car. So once those come out, then the next step will be removing the radio section from the bottom part so that you can put your aftermarket radio in. That's going to involve 4 screws on each side. They look like this. And you'll see them, they're going to be this here, here, and here. And then the 4th screw for the navigation, I think this is what the tricky part is you have to kind of, this navigation will kind of move up and down manually. And you pull it out all the way. And then the 4th screw is right down here where this hole is. You have to pull this forward first. And that's a trick to getting that 4th screw out. Once you get all 4 screws on both sides, this will slide up and out. It's a little bit tight in there, so you kind of got to work its way out, but it will come out. Just, again, that's the tricky part, is the way to get to that 4th and final screw is to move this navigation screen up manually. All right, so got the old radio out, and basically let me show you the parts that I bought in order to make this work. All right, so got the old unit out. I'll show you what that looks like. So this completely came out of this whole system, and then I'll show you the parts that I bought in order to make all of this compatible. So I have this is the Metra, I think it's a double DIN kit or whatever you would consider this. It's the Metra
957605.
957605.
For the navigation.
It works with navigation, and then you can find like any receiver that's compatible, but we went with the Sony XAV AX3250. It actually looked to fit pretty nicely inside here. Essentially, Sony slides in. There's a couple bolts on the side that you'll bolt the radio. If you can see on my finger, there's a bolt here. And then, like we were talking about earlier in the video, this has to come up in order to get to the bolt back behind here, which I had shown you earlier today. So those 2 bolts on either side bolt the new Sony system in there. And then put back the 3 bolts that we had taken out earlier. I just put back the factory nav controls right up top. Just screws in right on these sides, exactly where you took it out the last time. With the Metra kit, it does come with this new connector with wiring for the HVAC controls, which actually plugs right up into the stock wiring harness back in the car, which we'll get to later. So the next step, once you've put everything back together and in, is wiring it up, which can seem like a daunting task, but it looks like it's actually going to be quite simple. And so the resources that you'll need, so if you have a Bose system in your Infiniti G35, you can get away with using what this is this is one of the Metra wiring harnesses. I think it's the 77550. I'll put it down in the comments. But this basically can be used similarly to wire splice into the actual head unit wiring harness, and then these connectors will connect into your factory harness in the car itself. But this doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to be able to pick up and use the Bose amplifier system, because they have some proprietary signaling. I didn't really get too much into the weeds of it, but what I found was that the ROEM NIS2, it's a PAC system, PAC, was specifically made for these Infinitis in order to maintain the Bose amplifier. So, and we'll screenshot this into the video, but I'll show you the wiring harness unit that we're using. This is from one of the forums, but this is the PAC ROEM NIS2 on the left side, and then matching up the colors of the wires that you got to splice. So you will see these ends here. If you want to, you see the ends here. So we'll splice these ends into these ends. And so far, I haven't done it yet, but all of the colors are actually lining up. So color coordinated, pretty simple. And then once these are spliced together, we'll go ahead and work on installing the unit into the vehicle itself. All right, so we have the radio hooked back up and into the car. So let me get a shot from behind here. Just once again, wanted to talk about a couple of these bolts. Screw, 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 Those all came out and went back in. There's one screw up behind here, came out and went back in. This is how I screwed the nav controls back in, just the original harness right there, and then screws for the Metra doubled in. Some people complain about these buttons being a little bit cheap looking, you know, but they work. So this is the harness that came from the Metra and plugs directly in to the HVAC control system in the car. And then I'll show you what I have back here. All right, now, so from the back, what I have going on is the PAC system. This is my wiring job, taped up and spliced into the head unit. And then the PAC connectors actually just directly connect to the factory harness from the car itself. There'll be a few connectors down here that are left open. This is what the back side of it looks like. You can see a couple connector here, this connector here, all hooked back up. And then the next step is I actually took out the whole center console, planning to route my USB connection. This is coming off of the head unit. Gonna just kind of fish it back under here, drill a hole, and route that connection. Make it look a little bit factory, but it's not gonna be perfect. All right, now we'll work on getting this thing back together. We'll, you know, do a little fast forward compilation as you watch me struggle through this. I'm quickly realizing this might be a two-person job. All right, so this is where I'm gonna route my USB connection to the head unit. Pulled out the center console and put a hole right there with circle saw, and we'll route it right up through there. Still some more pieces to put back together. All right, now we put this thing back together. Up here is probably the trickiest to get to and to see, and kind of gotta line it up. All right, 2 down. Everyone going. So on these, just clips, one screw at the bottom, kind of an opposite way as it came out. So slides in forward, hopefully. I'll show you guys how it came out. So this unscrews up here, the side kind of pulls out here. That trick is to get this bottom tab out, and then it just pulls straight out with you, just like that. Pretty much nothing to it once you get the right tabs. And that's pretty much how it goes in, just the tabs. Just the tabs. Lining up your tabs like so. And then jimmying this in. Oh yeah, this is looking factory already. Factory already. It goes back together a lot quicker than I thought it was gonna. On this one, no screws, just tabs. Just tabs. This one actually looks like you got limits. Two more screws down here.
On both sides of it.
Yeah. Here. Try to show you guys this shifting section has two connections, a brown and then this white one. Clip right back together, and then you just set this down.
Tight.
Yeah, that is pretty tight. All right, so we kind of just had to snap in a little bit, and then don't forget your Jesus clip. Pretty important in terms of getting this to snug back down on here. That's it. All right, final product here. After about 4 or 5 hours worth of work, could probably do it faster than me if you wanted to. Apple CarPlay, stereo system's working. Can change music. This is what it looks like in here. Basically have my USB to the head unit coming out. Had to drill a little hole there, but no one will ever see that. All right.